My name is Karen Wallace. I'm a librarian at the Drake University Law School Library, and today we're going to look at how you can find cases that have interpreted a federal regulation by keyword searching. The regulation we're interested in comes from Title 27 of the CFR. It's Section 478.11, and I brought this up already using govinfo.gov. So you can see that this has to do with commerce and firearms and ammunition. And what we're looking at is the meaning of terms under Subpart B definitions. And the particular term that we're interested in appears all the way at the end of this section. It's unlawful user of or addicted to any controlled substance. So in order to look for cases for the purposes of this demonstration, we're going to use Google Scholar. The reason we're using Google Scholar is that it's a freely accessible tool. Google Scholar is a specialized Google search engine limited to scholarly research. It's available at scholar.google.com. When you first arrive at this page, you're going to want to click on the Case Law button to limit your search to case law. And you notice when you do that, you have options then to limit your search to courts. If we click on that button, you see that you can select as many or as few courts as you want. There's options to select all state courts or select all federal courts as well. For the purposes of our demonstration, we're just going to leave it completely open-ended as far as what court the cases are going to come from. In addition to this simple search box, there's a down arrow that you could click to get into a form-based search. And so for our purposes, we're using the term unlawful user as our exact phrase to search. And we're going to go ahead and click search. Now, the first thing you notice over on the left is that even though we started in case law, using that form, our results defaulted to articles. So to get back to our case law results, we're just going to click on the case law link on the left-hand side. And we have an awful lot of cases that came up. And it appears that they don't really all deal with our particular section of the CFR. Now, it's a little bit tricky to add the CFR citation itself and search by that, because although I think we can feel reasonably confident that we're going to see 27 CFR as the start, after that you might have the word part and it might cite the entire part. You might have the word section. If you were using a database like Westlaw, Lexis, or Bloomberg that allowed proximity searching, you could say that you wanted to search for the phrase 27 CFR within a certain number of words of either 478 or 478.11, but in Google Scholar, that's not an option. So we see our phrase search was just putting it in quotation marks. So I'm going to add another phrase search to search for 27 CFR, and then I'm going to add our exact section number. So it's going to be searching for all three of these things, although these two things aren't necessarily going to be next to each other. So when we search, hopefully we're going to get less than 1,050 results. And yeah, that knocked it down quite a lot to 26 different results. Now we could further limit using the left-hand navigation by date, for instance. We can also, the default is to sort by relevance. We could change the sort order to sort by date. So we have a few options on how we can work with those results. I'm going to go ahead and open up the second case because I know that mentions our search terms a lot. And one thing that you'll notice is that what you're getting here is the actual text of the opinion, but normally in front of the text of the opinion, if you're looking in one of the commercial databases like Westlaw, Lexis, or Bloomberg, you're going to have a lot more editorial enhancements ahead of the actual text of the opinion. Things that can be really useful to use to narrow your issue and to find additional cases like headnotes. And you're not getting any of that here. You're just getting the text of the case. So if you do have the option to search with one of those commercial database services, that's probably going to be more efficient. And all of those sources also have extensive training sites that offer tutorials and other documentation to help you learn how to find cases effectively. But to just give you an idea about where our search terms are appearing within Google Scholar in this case, you'll notice that they're telling us that all our search terms are highlighted. And as we scroll down, we can start picking up the highlights and then seeing what it has to say about that particular CFR section and what we might want to know about how courts have interpreted it. Thank you very much for watching this presentation of the Drake Law Library.